kick things off right now with our friends at TMZ. On Thursday, we love to have them here, talk more about some of the things that make us go online when we see them on social media as well.
Well, and we have Branson here, a TMZ producer. Branson, you know, this is a situation I'm not really that familiar with this, I guess, now allegedly fake shootout. Can we talk about the details with these two rappers, right?
Yeah, this is a wild video that was posted on social media by Troy Ave and Chef Jeff Cole. Now, this video surfaced just in the last week on social media. Troy and Chef Jeff Cole were seen pulling up to their San Diego home, and upon pulling up, and this was allegedly on surveillance camera outside the house that was taken, they get out of the car and immediately somebody approaches the home in what looks like an attempted robbery of sorts. We then see Troy Ave pull out a firearm from his pocket or his side and start shooting off that gun. It's a crazy, crazy situation going on. It got 45,000 likes on Instagram, so a ton of views. But now we've learned this whole thing was staged, and it's unclear why it was staged. Some people think that it was because they were playing one of their songs inside the car as they rolled up to promote the song, maybe. But as of right now, law enforcement says they had no reports of gunshots. We know that it was just blanks that he had fired off, so not live rounds. So they totally orchestrated this thing. It kind of begs the question of how far would you go to promote something on social media, right?
Exactly. And even like how far law enforcement allows you to go, because if someone were to walk by and see all of that happening, obviously they're calling 911, and then you've got real first responders showing up for something that's fake.
I mean, I'd like to know specifically, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know, but what's the legality here? Is this something that you can just do and get away with? I mean, it doesn't look great for the neighborhood that they're in. It doesn't look great for the law enforcement there. It kind of just like plays a trick on everybody.
Branson, I think I heard you say 45,000 likes. I think that's probably going to go up and up. Don't you think, as it starts circulating more and more?
Now that we know it's a promo, and let's be honest, if it is a promo for his song, then I think it's actually going to be successful because, hey, all publicity is good publicity sometimes, right?
Exactly, and that's exactly what I was thinking to myself. Well, wait, did it work in a sense? Even if it's, you know, well, what are people saying about it? Like, what is the overall? Like, I'm sure you guys got in the message system. Like, what are people saying?
Well, if you go in the comments section, it's really just a back and forth. That's kind of how it is when these things go down. A lot of people are defending. Usually the fans of this artist are defending them. And then there's other folks that saw the news story online and they're coming in and they're super upset about it. When I went in the comments on Instagram or on the place that it was posted, it was just a back and forth. People thought it was funny. Some people thought it was reckless, that this is stupid. And now it's kind of encouraging people to start doing this kind of thing, because this might just be the least of our worries in terms of seeing a video like this. We might see something even worse come out if this becomes a trend.
That's crazy. And of course, we have seen big publicity stunts for people's music coming out. Maybe some people didn't even know these folks' names, and now they do. Let's change gears a bit. There was the story this week about Dan Rivera. Okay, a paranormal that ends up dying in mysterious scenario with a doll that's connected to all kinds of weird stuff for years.
And he's been on tour with this said doll, right?
Exactly. Dan Rivera, he was the lead investigator, senior investigator on this tour of Annabelle. Everybody knows Annabelle if you've seen the movies. We all know the Warrens that are behind that, which is allegedly based on a true story where they said that this doll has a demonic presence. Now there's this Annabelle haunted tour that they take the actual doll and they go around the country, they display it in different cities, and it kind of just gives people an idea of the history and everything behind the doll, the history behind the Warrens, their paranormal experiences. Now, this is where everything takes a turn. On Sunday, in the middle of the day, we're now learning more details about this death. Dan Rivera, who was very high up in this tour, told his friends that he was with outside the hotel when they were out together that he needed to go back to the room to rest because he was feeling ill. And time goes by, he's not responding. They end up going to check on him, and they go to check on him and they find his dead body. We don't know exactly how he died, but now this has opened up a massive conversation, can of worms online. people are now pointing back to the history of this doll. They're saying, look where this happened before, look where it was displayed before, and other people died over here. If you really do the research, it's actually really interesting. This actually happened in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, where he actually died. And they are going to continue the tour. We just found out. Despite this.
What? See, I'm shook
are going
because
to continue.
I did not know that this had happened before, because we did the top 5 yesterday of most top 5 creepy dolls. Annabelle, of course, number 1. But like you said, there's a lot of speculation that's going to come with this. Do we know, did Dan have any pre-existing conditions, health conditions that we don't know about yet?
That's the thing, is that we don't know anything about what happened to him. And I hate to say it, but this is only going to make people want to go to the tour more. There are people out there that are very, very into this this Annabelle doll. They are just fascinated by its history. And this is just such a tragic situation, you know? I mean, to be at the height of his career with this tour and everything, go back to your room and this happens. But it really could be anything. I mean, everybody's going to make all these crazy claims about how Annabelle did it, all these crazy claims, but it could have been something as simple as a cardiac arrest. He could have had a pre-existing heart condition. He was 54 years old, we know, so not too up there, but anything could have happened here. And we will be on this, by the way. TMZ will find out.
Yeah, and I guess my thing is that regardless of what the doctors or anyone else says, the paranormal community is still going to be coming up with whatever whatever they think.
Well, I want to know what you guys
happened.
think. I don't know if you could tell me, but what's your opinion on this? What do you think?
Have a clue?
I don't either, but it horrifies me, but also interests me beyond belief.
We have a coworker who is going down. She's down in Georgia right now with her family at Lake Lanier, and that got us talking about all the folklore about Lake Lanier. So there's just some things that are mysterious and will haunt us for years. So we shall see. I do want to ask you, because you were saying that it's one of the things that you all are working on throughout the day. Other than maybe a few sightings at the ESPYs last night, like Meg the Stallion and Klay Thompson, what are some of the other big stories that you all are saying, okay, this is going to populate today?
Right. Well, one of the biggest stories this morning is the lead prosecutor in the Diddy trial actually just got let go. We were told by sources anonymously that she was released. Her name is I'm probably saying Maureen Comey, the daughter of the daughter of James Comey, former FBI director, was just let go on Wednesday from the U.S. Attorney the U.S. Attorney's Office of District of New York. And now people are talking about why that happened. It could be due to the fact that the verdict was not what they wanted. We know he was acquitted on several of the big charges, only now landing on 2 of the smaller charges, transportation to engage in prostitution. So now that's a massive conversation. Other than the ESPYs, there are a few other stories. We know Pete Davidson is having his first child, so that's a huge deal, so great for him. And it's very early, so we're just getting all these stories in right now. As we're talking right now, stories continue to just fuel in.
I can only imagine that you have a really interesting job, Branson. Thanks for joining us. We really enjoyed the conversation, even though it was a little creepy, and I'm going to leave here thinking about it all night. So thanks a lot for that. But you know what? Since we are streaming on YouTube, there's a lot of conversation pieces, like with this Annabelle tour, and also with. What were you just talking about? The whole
with Comey, the prosecutor being,
but also the rappers.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, everyone who's watching on YouTube, comment. I mean, do you think that was right for them to do that kind of publicity stunt? And also tell us what you think about the Annabelle doll, because I don't know. The more we talk about it, I think the more and more suspicious.
I have to say, I hate even talking about it. I told my coworkers I didn't want to do it on our podcast here because I don't even want to mess with it. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I just want to let that be out there, let that live. And I can't even imagine the people that actually want to go to that tour. I would never find myself at a tour like this, actually being in front of it. I would be so paranoid.
I couldn't be there. I'm with you. But we definitely appreciate you coming out of your comfort zone to chat with us about it. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks, you guys.
Have a
Talk to you
great
soon.
day.